Hello, my name is Rhodesia McMillian, and I am a PhD candidate here at the University of Missouri, Columbia, and I'm earning my PhD in Educational Policy Analysis. You're probably wondering, what is she doing? Well, if you've asked yourself that question, I am doing a video journal entry. So one of my sister scholars and friends here in the program suggested that I start videoing my journey as I begin or as I'm working through my dissertation to maybe shed some light and some heartaches, some laughters with whomever else is out there earning their doctoral degree. So with that being said, I will probably make a series of videos, and however many viewers I get is how many ever viewers I get. It's not that serious, but it's definitely a way for me to share what I'm going through, as well as, I guess, it's therapy. So where I am in the process, I'm actually a little late in the game in terms of journaling where I am in the process, but better late than never, right? So I am on chapter 3, and right now I am working through and fine-tooth combing chapters 1, 2, and 3 with my dissertation chairs to send out to the rest of my committee. So I have 2 chairs, right? So my recommendation would be, if you have to have 2 chairs, then get 2 chairs. But if at all possible, just have 1. How I ended up with 2 chairs, as you know, in the academy, we always lose professors to other universities. And in this case, the woman who encouraged me and kind of recruited me to here in Mizzou, she took a job at The Ohio State, and deservingly so. So with that being said, they still allowed her to be my chair, but I needed like a physical advisor who in turn would be my co-chair. And I'm actually very blessed in that regard, because both of my chairs, they get along, and they write well together, and their feedback is always in sync with one another. So I'm blessed in that regard. So I don't have like a lot of challenges with having 2 chairs, but I can imagine that it would be challenging for others who have 2 chairs. Moreover, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more work because even though they get along, they write well together and they think alike in some ways, and they're both very critical. Like, they give a lot of feedback, and you know, you have to have like almost 2 rounds of each draft, almost one for chair 1 and one for chair 2. So I am physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted, psychologically exhausted, right? But I will say that spiritually, I seem to be doing well. One thing about this process is that I think I will always recommend having some type of faith foundation, and whomever you subscribe to. I think that you should really take this time to stay committed to your spiritual foundation, because if not, this process has a way of really shaking you at the core. And if you're not confident in who you are and whose you are, what you've been created to do, and if you don't see earning this, in my case, PhD, as something spiritual, then it could very well be even more challenging for you. So I am very, very grateful and blessed that even though I experience a lot of difficulty, a lot of challenges, that I can still go back to my foundation in Jesus Christ, and be able to, to support myself. And that even when I feel like I don't have support, I always feel that if I go back and if I pray, then I feel very empowered. I actually have a prayer that I pray before I write, before I study, before I do anything related to my PhD. And it's very helpful. So, but right now it's on a Saturday. It's a Saturday and I'm in my office. I also work full time for the university. And if you don't work full time, that's a good thing. If you work full time, it's even more challenging. And if you have children and if you have a boo face, it is even more challenging. So even though I have a full-time job, I don't have any children, and I don't have a boo face. Really, but not really. And it's very difficult because you love people, and even with your family members, like I have family members who say, we haven't heard from you, and where you been, and I'm like, I'm writing a dissertation. And sometimes you have to really state the obvious and ask them, hey, have you ever written a dissertation before? Of course you might get some pushback on that for being a smart aleck, but that's the truth of the matter. And sometimes, you want to sit at your computer and stare at the screen unbothered and not have to return a text message or feel pressure to calling. And then when you call and say, I'm working on my dissertation, and if your family is anything like mine, they'll be like, you still writing that paper? Like, one, it's not a paper. Okay, I wish it was just a simple paper, but it's not. Or you can't be that busy, right? Or now what kind of doctor you gonna be again? Things like that, right? But for the most part, I do have some family members who've been very supportive. Even though they have not earned a doctoral degree, they seem to be very intentional in seeking out information on how to support a family member or just a friend through this process. So I'm almost running out of time because I don't want to make these videos longer than 10 minutes because nobody wants to hear me talk for 10 minutes, just rambling off, especially if it's unscripted, because there's no telling what I'm going to say. But I would definitely recommend that you make time for yourself. Like right now, I have a hat on. I have not had on any makeup in 3-4 days, and I've had a hat on. I need to get my hair done, and I don't live in a place where there are many people who can really do my hair the way I want to, so I drive all the way to St. Louis just to get my hair done. Shout out to Studio Posh. My weave is dry, and I am not ashamed to say that I wear weave. Okay, I have hair. I have plenty of hair, but weave is convenient for me with this lifestyle, with trying to get this PhD, with working full time, and being active in the community and doing all of the kind of stuff. A weave is good for me. Okay, so don't give me this, be natural type thing. I love my natural hair, and there are times of the year where I rock my natural hair. But right now I'm rocking a weave because it's easy. And so right now my weave is dry because I need a hair appointment. But I can't go and get my hair done because I don't have time to drive to St. Louis, and I don't have time to sit and get my hair done because I'm trying to get these drafts out to my committee. Anyway, so I'm going to work today for about 8 hours. And I'm going to go home and cook for the week. So I hope that, I don't even know if this video will be inspiring to you, or helpful at all. But don't be too judgmental, okay? If you feel like I've missed something, then stay tuned. I might mention it next time. All right, so peace out, stay focused, and get her done.